Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is show 23 with your hippie pastor. Ready or not, here I go. Here's a little song. Sing along if you like. Sing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. I rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. These little birds, they be pitching at my doorstep, singing sweet songs, the melody pure and true. This is my message to you. Sing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. I'm singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. I'll rise up this morning, smile at the rising sun. These three little birds, they be pitching at my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melody pure and true. This is my message to you. Sing, don't worry. Okay, guys, let's put the guitar away, man. We're at show 23, as I said, and I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today. But we got a subject to continue the story of my life, of what happened in the spiritual search, in the spiritual crusade that I embarked upon since the day I was born, slipping out of my mommy's vagina and recognizing I was called to be the hippie pastor from my mommy's womb. You heard right. Now, a little parenthesis here. Why would the Christians? Okay, let's go back. Let's go back a couple of thousand years here. The Jewish religion, they crucified Christ and rejected him. Yet after Jesus Christ was gone, the Christian religion adopted the Old Testament of the Bible. They created it. They wrote the New Testament, part of the Gospels, and then the writings of Paul and Peter, which I don't agree with a lot of them. But then there's the Gospels, the four accounts of the life of Jesus Christ. That's your New Testament. And then the book of Apocalypse, which is written by the Apostle John when he was tripping on mushrooms. Now, but the Old Testament was a Jewish Bible. Now, why would the Christians adopt the Jewish Bible into their Bible? They stuck it together. The Holy Bible is the Old Testament and New Testament. Why would they take the Bible? You might even say they stole it. Why would they take it from the Jewish people, which rejected and crucified the Jewish religious people? I'm saying the religious people, the Pharisees and all them people, which rejected and crucified the Lord Jesus. Why would they adopt, And now, having said that, the Old Testament has a lot of beautiful things, a lot of very inspiring writings. It was a religious book, but it was of a nation that was a warrior nation. Israel were warriors, and they used their Bible, their God, to justify their wars and their attacks and killings and against nations that were non-Israeli, because they were exclusive. They were supposedly, according to them, they were the only chosen people of God, and so therefore their mission was to kill and make war with nations that were non-Israeli. And the Bible backed this up. The Old Testament, the books of the Israel people. Their God was a God of war. So when the Christians stole the Old Testament from the Jewish nation, they also became a religion of war. You may have noticed that Christianity, they play the same game. They use God to justify war. So these are religions of war. Nations of war that use they need to justify their wars with spiritual, with God. They got to stick God. And Jesus was the Prince of Peace, a man of peace, just like Gandhi. Like he didn't believe in war. He said, "Make love, not war. Make love, not war. And they that kill by the sword shall die by the sword." I'm through with the subject now. I'm not anti-Jewish, but of any sort. I might be more a tendency to be anti-Christian. Because the Jews are the Jews, and that's who they are. And they're not embarrassed or ashamed or apologizing. They're not apologizing. They're not lying. The Christians are more, I think, into this thing of not being honest and stealing other people's Bibles. Now, the Jews we already talked to their special people. So then I was going to the Children of God Family International meetings, and this guy attacked me and said I was guilty of killing people in Vietnam. So I went, after a couple of weeks, I went back, and I was totally surprised when the Jewish, on the subject of Jews, leader of that community, he was the head honcho, man. He was the main dude. He was so nice to me, and he gave me a hug, and he was a completely different spirit. And then he sat with me, and he said, "See those three girls over there?" And there was these three beauties. And one of them was a little blonde with the blue eyes that I liked. And he said, "Well, those three lovelies are going with those two brothers. See those two brothers over there?" And I looked closely because I wanted to make sure none of them was that Jew, that Gentile Golan that attacked me. Goyam, that attacked me verbally. He wasn't, thank God. So he said, "How would you like to go? You with those two guys, so two and you would be three, and those three girls in the van on a road trip to distribute our literature, that America is going to be destroyed, etc." Because that's what they believed, that America was the great harlot of Revelations, the mother of all harlots, and it was going to be destroyed, whatever, God was going to destroy America way back then. We're talking 1974, something like that. Well, anyway, so I didn't even have to think about it. I said, "Man, love is what I need. Screw everything else." So I went back home. I quit my job. I told my mom I'm going off with these missionaries. My mom being a Puerto Rican, a New York Rican, born, in Harlem, raised in the Bronx, the South Bronx, mind you. She was a violent, she was a rough kid, man. She started throwing pots and pans and plates and anything she could find, man, at me. I said, "Mama, these are missionaries. I'm going to go do God's work." And she said, "Fangu, bafangul." She said, "There's no God's work. There's another drug addict. You never change. Bafangul, get out of here. Vete pa'l carajo." She just cursed me out. Puta. And I left the house, but grabbed my backpack, but I was happy, man. I was looking forward to, because the smell of that female scent, it's just like a wolf. They smell the urine of a female wolf in the forest, and nothing else matters, man. So so they had me on the hook, man. And I went for it, man. We went in that van, and next show you'll find out the truth about what happened in that van, if anything happened at all. I love you guys. Mucho amor. I love everybody. I don't care your religion, your nationality. We just believe in the religion of love and make love, not war. And we're against war. That's all. We're not against any nation. All right? We're not a racist here. We love everybody. I love you. We believe in the God of love. Thanks.